It's week 12 and it is the final week of peak weeks, and it's a big week this week in terms of the sessions and the mileage, and we're kicking things off today with a speed session. I'm currently on a 10-minute warm-up, and then I'm going to jump into some intervals, 3 minutes at interval pace with a 2-minute recovery. I'm going to repeat that 6 times and then finish with a 10-minute cool down. It is lovely out today, but the wind has picked up. I think that is going to make the session a little harder, but yeah, I'm ready to get stuck right into this one. So that is the 6th and final 3-minute rep at interval pace, and yeah, that was hard work. I think 3 of those reps against quite a strong headwind. The worst kind of weather for me to run in is the wind. Around this side is very sheltered, but yeah, when you do the loop and come around the other side, it was hard work. But just got seconds to go now of my final 2-minute recovery, and now just a 10-minute cool down, and that will complete tonight's speed session. This is Wednesday and it's run 2 of week 12, and today is 13k easy. I surprisingly feel very good, considering this is the final week of peak weeks, and you know, not that long ago, Sunday gone, I ran 35k with 15k in total of marathon pace in that. My legs and my body have responded really well in terms of recovery. I'm very surprised how good I actually do feel. At the end of that 35k, I did look down at my watch just to check that I did do 35k. I was feeling that good. And Monday's gone by after long runs, I've been really feeling it. Completely wiped out, really sore muscles. But yeah, Monday I felt really good. I know this week will be a lot tougher. Not only is there a lot more mileage this week, a lot of the sessions are harder sessions, so yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be feeling it by the end of this week. But that's it, that's peak weeks done, and all downhill then we'll taper towards Manchester. And there we go. I have just completed run 3 of week 12. Tonight was a 14k progression run, which consisted 5k easy, 5k marathon pace, 2k tempo pace, and finishing with another 2k easy. Yeah, I feel alright. If I'm being honest, the legs were starting to feel it through the tempo block, and yeah, a little fatigued coming towards the end of that run, but other than that I feel alright. So today is Thursday. Tomorrow, Friday, will be a rest day, and then the last 2 runs of week 12 will be Saturday and Sunday. I'm not quite sure at the moment where this week's Sunday long run will be. Undecided whether I'm going to travel somewhere for that final big run or whether to run it local. So it is Saturday morning and it's run 4 of week 12, And as it's Saturday, you've guessed it, we're back at Park Run. Today on the plan again is 10k easy. We're going to finish with some strides today, but last week it did work to break it up. So again, I've done a 2.5k warm up. I'm going to do a 5k park run, and I am pacing 31 minutes again, and then we're finished with a 2.5k cool down. That'll bring us up to 10k for today. Like I said, I'm going to finish with some strides because that is what's on the plan. Yeah, feel okay today. I am feeling slightly on the tired side. Yesterday, although Friday was a rest day, probably felt more tired Friday than I have all week. But yeah, I'm going to try and take it easy today. Tomorrow will be by far the biggest, hardest, longest run I've done since my first marathon in Newport last year. Tomorrow will be 37k with a load of marathon pace, so yeah, that is going to be a tough session. And there we go, that's park run done, and that's the cool down done as well, finishing with some strides. Annoyingly, I never had the strides programmed into the watch, so made it a little bit harder to time that right. But yeah, I've had a really good morning, really enjoyed it. Park runs are great. But yeah, focus now is on tomorrow's long run, 37k. It's going to be a big one. But for now, run 4, week 12 done, and I will see you tomorrow for Sunday's long run. It's Sunday and it's a long run day. This is peak week, and this will be my longest run of this marathon training block. And today it's a big one. It's 37k, and there is a big chunk of marathon pace within that as well. There will be a 13k block at marathon pace in the middle. The rest of that, either side, will be run easy. But without a doubt, today's run will be a massive test for me. Today's run is going to be the biggest and hardest run, not only throughout this marathon training block, but since I attempted and completed my first ever marathon last year. So as I said I would try and do, and as I have been doing throughout this marathon training block, is to try and run somewhere different every week for my long runs, just to, you know, try and keep it interesting, as a way of trying to help me through those longer runs. And today is no different. I am running somewhere new. There is always a risk of running somewhere new, especially on a long run like this, especially when there is a big chunk at marathon pace. But I want to do it. It will make the run more interesting. So I am going to be running from Melksham. I'm going to be running out to Symington and joining the canal in Symington, running out through Bradford-on-Avon, through Bath, where the canal ends. I will then pick up the river path and meet up with the Bath and Bristol cycle path. I'm going to follow that. I'm going to follow that path out to Bitton, to the Avon Valley railway station in Bitton, where hopefully I make it there, and my son will be there to pick me up at the end of this run. So I do know when I join the canal, for the first 5k or so, the surface isn't that great. I do know that, but that will be within my easy block, so that will make that more manageable. But the surface does get better, and I don't think, compared to a lot of the routes I've been running I think this is one of the lowest elevation routes in terms of elevation gain that I probably would have done for a long time, maybe even throughout this marathon training block. We'll see at the end. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and take this run a little bit more seriously, you know, enjoying it first and foremost. And what I mean by, I suppose, taking it more seriously is I probably won't play around with the camera as much on this run, and I will try not to stop as often as I have been on some of these longer runs, just for a real test and to get a real feel of this long run, really, and see how I cope with it. But yeah, I'm not going to roll off any excuses before the start of this run today. I'm just going to get straight into it. It may sound strange, but as hard as this run is going to be, I am actually really looking forward to it. Partly to see how I do and how I cope with it, but I'm running somewhere new, so I'm excited for that.
Country lanes and coastal plains, endless views that we're passing through, making our way to a distant place, just us two.
So I have now made it into Bradford-on-Avon. I'm about 11k in. Here we go then, 13k in. And for another 13k at Marathon Pace, let's go.
Into the night, with you my arms, nothing can go wrong. We'll fall asleep on a starlit beach, just us two, somewhere new.
Just over 26k in, just coming into Bath, just finished my Marathon Pace block, and yeah, not gonna lie, that was a little bit tasty. So we just got just over 10k to go now, an easy pace, but yeah, absolutely lovely route. I wish I could have shown you more on this run. What a lovely morning. But yeah, got a little bit lost at one point, which was a bit annoying. Nowhere near as bad as last week. And I did find it hard initially to dial into Marathon Pace. The surface, yeah, it wasn't the best. Quite lumpy and bumpy, quite stony, you know, kind of constantly looking on the floor, worried that you're going to roll your ankle and stuff, so that made it hard. And it was busy, bikes, dogs, walkers, so yeah, but I think we've done all right. And the last time I was here, I'm in Bath now, the last time I was here, I was running along here in the Bath half, only a few weeks ago now, where I got a PB. That was a brilliant day. If only the surface was as good as this from the start. Again, we run all around here in the Bath half, and this here now is the river route. Yeah, getting a little bit lost again. The footpath along the river is all fenced off and it's closed. but I can't seem to find a way to get back on at the moment. Run all along here in the back path. I didn't expect to come out and run along this road, but obviously, like I said, at the moment trying to find a way back onto the river footpath. Yay! We made it back onto the footpath after asking a couple of locals, but yeah, it'd be so much easier for them just to have signposted that. That is 32k in, around 20 miles, just a park run to go. And the next time I'll be saying that will be towards the end of my victory lap in 3 weeks' time. So I am lost again. There was a part of the path closed off. They had the fire and rescue, they had training, so I found my way back on from that part, but now I've run too far again, and thankfully, after again speaking to some locals, they pointed me in the right direction, because not only would I have been going way out my way, but I would have been running around in circles probably for the next 20 minutes. So hopefully not too far away and we can get back on track. So I'm looking to come off this path along the river now and try and get onto the Bath to Bristol cycle path, which is the old railway track. So I'm told down here on the left somewhere there was a track that will lead me there. So I've made it back on course. I'm on the Bath Bristol cycle path now. I don't know how that's through my mileage out with all these little detours, but on our way now to Avon Valley Railway Station. Final stretch, about 4k to go. Oh, I've got about 800 metres to go. This last 3k have been quite hard. My left hamstring on the inside and the left groin again, that niggle's come back and it's been playing up for a little bit. Oh, yeah, it just makes it that much harder. Well, I'm nearly there. Oh. Yes, 37k done. Oh guys, that is it. That is peak week done, and I can't believe it. That is just shy of 85k, 84.6k done this week. The most mileage I have ever done in any week since I've been running. Today, overall, not too bad. Again, this run has given me bags of confidence to go into Manchester with. That's 37k. You know, we're only a park run or so off of a marathon. In terms of distance, I can do it. That's not going to be a problem, I don't think. Can I hold pace for 42k? That is to be seen, but yeah, don't get me wrong, that 13k block at marathon pace was tough. A little bit of an eye-opener. Today, that last 3k was tough. You know, that was a bit of a reality check as well. I ran out of fuel, so I took my last bit of Voom bar around 30k in. I think I must have dropped some at some point. So I think had I have had a little bit more fuel. That may have helped me towards the end of this run. But my left leg, it's always my left leg. Whatever my niggles are, it always seems to be my left leg, my left ankle, my left hammy, my left quad, my left groin. I've got an issue going down the left side there of my body, so you know, maybe I can get that addressed with my physio appointment next week. But walking now, I feel absolutely fine. The last 3k, yeah, it was tough. My left quad on the inside of my left groin was playing up quite a bit, and it was tough. That last 3k, it was picking the leg up to move forward. It made it that much harder. But I don't know what it is. Like, once I'm at marathon pace or any kind of faster pace, I find it really hard to slow back down. I almost find it easier to keep a bit of momentum. Running slower sometimes seems to, you know, make them niggles a little bit more evident. I don't know why. It sounds silly to say that, but it's almost sometimes harder to run slower. But that is it. We're going to taper now. Things are going to get easier for the next 3 weeks, but not easy. I think next week, the first week of taper, we're still into, you know, 70 odd K of running, so still a tough week. But yeah, the taper now. Physio to look forward to next week, just to, like I say, just to try and iron out them niggles a little bit more. And yeah, we'll just see now what happens over the next 3 weeks leading up to Manchester. But I don't know what I can say really. I mean, I know training's not over completely, but the main bulk of it is peak weeks are done, out the way. Them scary weeks, and they were scary weeks looking at them at the beginning. They're done, they're out the way. I cope with them so much better than I ever thought I would. 37k. I mean, when I done my marathon last year, I wasn't walking around like I am now. I was in bits. So I've come a long way since then. But yeah, over the moon with how well training has gone. I mean, so far, unless anything else crops up in the next 3 weeks, so far to this point, training couldn't have gone better. It really couldn't. And do not ever tell yourself you can't do something, because you can. You really can. But that is it. I am now going to go and meet up with my wife and my 2 boys, who are waiting for me at Avon Valley Railway Station, just a short walk away from where I am now. But that is 37k done. That is run 5 of week 12 done. That is peak weeks done. And as always, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.